lane when I pass in the street. Bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flame.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back live and in the flesh. This is the We're Not Famous with Sam and Jernavis podcast.
Yeah, and we have a special guest today.
Do we?
Yeah,
are we going to take him out of the basement and show people? Or
AKA Pops.
Oh, wow, that's pretty damn good,
Pops.
Jernavis.
Yeah.
See, me and Pops, we go way back.
Way back
To when I first started boxing. He actually almost saved my life.
Wow.
I was about to get murdered. It was gonna be like a Rajah Jackson situation.
Seriously?
I'll tell the story, not right now, but Pops is one of the most brilliant boxing coaches, one of the most renowned. You know, if you know boxing and you're in New York, you know this guy,
Mr. Colin Morgan.
Yes, there you go.
Can I just give some of the accolades if I can?
Yeah, why not?
So over...
And correct him if he gets anything
if I get
wrong.
anything incorrect. Over 46 years of boxing experience.
50.
Okay. Co-owner of Bout Fight Club in Lower Manhattan, New York.
Yes.
Okay.
Best gym in New York.
And black owned, so...
Yeah.
Trained several world champions. A few that popped up was Elio Rojas, Wayne
Braithwaite.
Okay,
Wayne.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wayne.
Guillermo Jones.
And then also Peter Quillin.
Yes, I trained Peter Quillin for his first 22 fights.
For his first 22 fights. What they call him Kid Chocolate?
Kid Chocolate. Then I had Larry Donald. He fought Evander Holyfield at the Madison Square Gardens. He won. That Six Heads Lewis, Gary Sinclair. There was all these guys.
Wow.
Been around a little bit.
I love it.
It's crazy. You know, you go on YouTube and you watch like these old classic fights, and you can always see Pops is there somewhere, like in someone's corner. Yeah.
Love it. And I gotta first start off ask you, how long have you had the club? What's it called again? It's called
Bout Fight Club.
Bout Fight Club. How long have you had that?
Well, Bout Fight Club started in 2018.
Okay.
And I became the part owner in 2020.
Wow. It's huge. Well, let's start off first with your origin story, the history. Tell us about your background. How were you as a kid?
Yeah, well, I was born in Georgetown, Guyana.
Okay.
At the time, it was British Guyana. It's the only English-speaking country in South of America, and it sits on top of Brazil and borders with Venezuela. Okay. So it's a little country. It's about 87,000 square miles, about the size of Great Britain.
Okay.
And right now, the size of the population is about 800,000. So
800,000.
It's small people. It's just a small group of people. But we always did good with boxing. We had at one time we had maybe 6-7 guys ranked in the world at the same time. We always did well with boxing. So yes, I grew up around boxing. My neighbor was a coach, and he had every Sunday you got the older guys sparring in his yard and with a glove. So from the time I could see anything or walked around, I was seeing like punches.
Right.
And so I was attracted to that from then on. Even though my grandfather was also a boxing trainer, but by the time I was 7 years old, he died. So I didn't have much to do with him anyway and his training. But somehow I had that bug. I think it's a bug that you get, and it never left. I would stop every day from school, watching the gym, see what the guys was doing, go home, practice.
Got it.
So
at how old did you join the gym?
So I actually joined the gym around 13.
13. Okay.
I started fighting around I was like 14 years old and stuff. But then I had some amateur fights. I turned pro. I was champion of Guyana at featherweight.
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 What weight is that?
That's 126 pounds.
120. He still looks. Yeah, I'm looking at him now. He's still in good shape.
Yeah, my first fight, I had 96 pounds. My first amateur fight was 96.
That's what Mooney weighed.
I think so.
Right?
This is we start as kids, so you start like a little. Yeah, but then in 1994, 1984, I had a dislocated disc in my lower back.
Okay.
And
Was that from boxing also? That
it was just I was just running, was just doing road work, and it just somehow it just popped. And
you're young at the time.
I was young, 24 years old.
24 years
and
old.
so there's, I don't know, you guys will know that, but in 1984 there was no fixing or nothing for stuff like this. It was that's it. There's nothing
And you
you
were
can
still
do.
living in
Guyana.
You're saying there wasn't surgery, or
There was no surgery. There was no fixing stuff like that. They didn't have the technology for this stuff.
Got it.
So
wow.
I end up losing all the muscle from my left butt cheek all the way down. Like all the muscle went away. So that was the end of my boxing.
Wow.
But I think it was a blessing in disguise, because I stayed at the gym with my coach and helped him with the other kids, the younger kids. And then I would help him he would be training the pros, I'd be helping with the kids. And then when there were two pros or somebody else came to the gym and was sparring, then he would ask me to go in the other corner. So he would be in the other corner because he couldn't be in both corners at the same time. So I was helping out. And
Did you stop sparring too? Or were you completely?
yeah, I was completely out of, yes, couldn't run, couldn't fight, anything. It was real bad. But then 2 years later, my coach died. And I was left with the gym with all the pros, all the amateurs, and it never stopped. And here I am, I'm still stuck with that. So I guess it was a blessing in disguise. And
I got to ask you a question. This is interesting to me.
Yeah.
That injury, because all the accolades you've already received to the age of 24, did you go through any type of depression?
Great question.
I would say we never used those words back then. There was no depression. It was just whatever it was.
Right.
Nobody was depressed. It's like you hurt and you're done.
My father said that's what it was too.
You hurt and that's the end of it, and you deal with it and whatever. There was no, I'm depressed. There was none of that stuff. So I know the answer to that question. I can answer that question.
So getting through it, the transition was easier because you became a coach or assistant coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but luckily, by the time I was 34 years old, I had my first fighters fighting for world title.
And what was his name?
His name was Andrew Murray. He was fighting Ike Quarty for the world title, for welterweight world title.
This is in Guyana.
No, Ike Quarty is from Ghana in Africa.
Wow.
He was one of the great African fighters. You could look him up.
Okay.
And Andrew Murray, we had to go fight. And that started my journey actually to America.
Okay.
Because I was with Andrew. We won a Commonwealth World title in England. We went around. We had some fights.
You were traveling.
Around with the amateur boxers from Guyana. I had some amateur tournaments. I went to as a national coach with the kids. I was doing good as from Guyana. But then I came to America in 1994 with Andrew. We were going to the Crunk gym to train with Emmanuel Stewart to get ready for the world title fight. Get ready for the world title fight.
Okay.
So we stayed there for a couple of months, and then the fight postponed.
Gotta ask you this, Emmanuel Stewart.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you learned from him?
I think he was a real good businessman.
Wow, I didn't expect that. Wow.
He was really a good businessman. And I know when I said this before, and some people take it the wrong way, but I felt maybe I'm wrong, but I think he started a system where he was training the top guys.
That's what I'm asking.
Julio Chavez, Michael Mora,
Lennox Lewis.
this before Lennox Lewis time.
Wow.
But
Hitman.
yeah, Thomas Orange. Well, Thomas Orange was one of his first big fighters. But what I learned from him, he was when he was training these big fighters, he would charge them weekly. He wasn't working on a percentage. He was working on, you pay me this amount.
So he gets paid no matter what. If the fight
Look at that.
gets
about
postponed.
that.
But at the time there was money. So let's say somebody was getting $10 million.
Yeah.
He would not just take the fight and says, well, okay, I need 10%, and he would say, I'm just giving a crazy number. I'm just saying something. I'm not. None of this is
Factual.
factual.
I get it.
But he would says, okay, I need 40 or 50,000 a week, and I'll train you for 6 weeks and work your corner. And then, so which means you would still got money left over to pay your trainer because he's not taking 10%. It might be like 100,000. So if he's taking 300,000 from you, you still got $700,000 because 10% should go to a trainer. So you could still negotiate with your trainer to use him as an expert, and everybody could still get some money. But I guess what ends up happening is most of the managers or the fighters, they let go their trainers at that time.
Okay.
And they just go and they just to pay that amount, and then they didn't have to pay the trainer. So then it turned out to be like, I don't think what he intended. Like, so a fighter would go and train with him, but when the fight was over, he's not training you anymore. You got to go back to your country, your gym, or whatever you force. He was not like keeping you forever.
Got it.
Right? He was just working fight by fight.
Business. Now I see why you're saying.
And
Business.
so I guess
System.
I never got to that level, but I worked with Dunking, and I applied some of that. So like Guillermo Jones, Elio Ross, and some of these people, Larry Donald, some of the people we talk about, they were not my fighters. They were signed with Dunking, and I worked with Dunking as a trainer. So when it was time to fight, they come to the camp. I trained them. I got paid for the training. I got paid for the fights.
You got a percentage too from the fight also?
Yes, and then they left, and the next time the fight comes, it was the same thing, but not at the same level.
Got it. So you were practicing the same business
system, but not at the same level.
I
That's
understand.
obvious.
Still,
You
picked up something.
So I did learn something from him.
Wow.
If that answers your question.
Yes, sir. No, absolutely.
I have a question because I've heard you told me personally about it, which I thought was really interesting. That you once had a coach who was really tough on you.
Yes, when I was an amateur boxer. Yes.
Yeah, and that he thought he was being hard on you by making you stay in the ring and do all this sparring, but that's how you learned a lot of your coaching.
Of my coaching technique. Yes.
Yeah. Could you talk about that a little?
So when I was an amateur boxer, we had this thing in Guyana we call national service. So as young kids, young people, you had to spend 18 months or 2 years. You had to sign in and be. It's like paramilitary. You had to do this
In Guyana?
In Guyana at the time.
Wow.
So I was part of that, and so I was part of the boxing team. So because it's like, let's say we had 5 different centers of box people, like, they had like 5 different centers that you would go to, and then they would have like a boxing between all 5, and then the winners and the runner-up, they would pick a team to represent the service against the military and the prisons and the other local gyms. So it was like a good little system. But the coach... So we had a coach from our side. Every place had a coach. But then when it comes to make the team, then they had a coach for the whole national service.
Okay.
And so happened, his name was Patrick Ford. He was also a boxer. He fought for Salvador Sanchez for the title. Wow. But somehow he wanted like his guys to get all the limelight and whatever. He was just focused on training the guys that came from his part of the service.
Okay.
So the rest of us was more like opponents for his guys. So every time he would put me to spar with one guy, and if I was doing good enough, he would take that guy, put in a different guy, and if the guy was doing good, he'd take him, put in a bigger guy. He would make sure that I got beat up. So,
Okay.
and then at night we would all like lie in the bed in the back room. They're talking, having jokes, and if I would say anything, he'd be like, "You're not part of this conversation, but we don't need you in conversation." He was just like being real, like
Rude,
disrespectful. More way he
asshole.
tried to. He's doing stuff like that so that you would quit, and then he would just got his little group of guys that he's whatever. Anyway, one night it got me so angry I actually threatened to kill him.
What do you mean try to kill him?
I threatened to kill him. I was going to get a machete. I told him, I says, listen, next time you say something to me, next time you fuck with me, I'm going to kill you. I get a machete. I'm going to cut you the fuck up. You're never going to fight again. Leave me the fuck alone. And so the coach who was in charge of us, he was an ex-criminal. So then he went to the coach and complains, oh, he's threatening me, he's going to kill me, whatever. So the coach comes, he's like, I hear you threatening the coach. So I'm like, so my coach was a guy named Clarky. I'm like, Clarky, listen to me. This guy doesn't like you, he doesn't like me. He treats everybody like he thinks he's a shit. And I'm telling you, if he fucks with me again, I am going to kill him. And then the coach started agreeing, yeah, he really is disrespectful and whatever. Son, that I'm telling you, like not even 2 weeks later, he said something to the same coach. The coach punched him in the mouth. His whole face was busted up. He got punched in the mouth because he was so disrespectful at the time. But anyway, so while we're doing the night, it's like I would remember I would just lie down on the bed and just like reminisce and play back in my head the sparring that what happened, and okay, the guy throws, he keeps kidding. I was left-handed, and every time I jabbed, the guy would just roll and come back with a hook, or I would throw a jab and he would lead with this punch, and I would like see the stuff and be, okay, tomorrow when I do this and he does this, I'm going to do that, and then when this person do this, I'm going to do that, and then I'll go practice it the next day, and that would work, and that would get the coach crazy because he's trying to like get me beat up, but I'm just trying to figure out every day how to like be ahead of him.
Got it.
So I always stayed ahead of him. So I think that helped me a lot. So when I started training, helping my coach, I applied these same little things that I was starting to figure out to these kids, and I think that made me very, very creative, because I had to. So it was nothing that nobody showed me, or I watched somebody doing something. This was like my creativity. And
could you share one of the things you're talking about?
Okay, so let's say I'll give you one that maybe you could watch and for yourself and see.
Okay.
So I like doing things like, let's say when Larry Donald was going to fight Evander Holyfield, and he was supposed to be an opponent just to get
knocked out,
just to get beat up, because Holyfield was going. They were trying to set up a fight with Holyfield and Klitschko.
Okay.
And so Larry Donald was like a little step up to get Holyfield some work so they could make this fight with Klitschko. But so happens I don't like losing, so I was training. I was training Larry Donald. I wasn't going to just go in and get some money. I wanted to win. So again, I've seen Holyfield fight dozens of times. You see all these fights, these big fights and everything.
Right.
And
Huge star.
And I identified so what I do, I identify the strengths in people, whatever they do. And then I try to come up with a solution to eliminate the strengths, so then the weakness doesn't matter. So I think Holyfield's strength to me was he would bounce. He'd always bounce, and
he does bounce.
And then he comes in, and then you punch, and he would counter with a left hook. His left hook was real good, but But before he punches, he always bounces. He never.
That's true.
He always bounces. So I'm like, what are you gonna do? We're gonna stop him from bouncing. As long as he doesn't bounce, there's no way he could beat you because he doesn't know how to fight without bouncing. He never had a fight without bouncing. So now we're gonna make him stop bouncing. And we made him stop bouncing, and he lost. And the fight finish was 12 rounds. One judge gave him 1 round, but other than that, he lost every single round. So,
We're talking about Lawrence or Evander Holyfield.
Evander Holyfield.
So you guys did beat him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm now going to go back and watch that.
He
fight.
lost.
Let's watch it.
He lost every round, but some judge gave him 1 round or something. But
Got it.
he lost.
We'll put a link in the bio. To that fight.
Somebody like
Good idea.
somebody give him the 10th round. But other than that, I mean, even Roy Jones was commentating the fight. He was like, Larry Donald coach did a good job because Larry Donald, if you know him, he thought he was Muhammad Ali. So all his fights, he's moving on his toes, jabbing and running. And the commentators always criticize. He's not Muhammad Ali. What the hell are you doing? Whatever. So I go to train him. I said, listen, you want to win? There's no Muhammad Ali with me. You got to do what's going to work to win. You can't just do this.
Got it.
And so we had the good camp. And I mean, I would let you call Larry one day and talk with him. He says to me, at the time he was like 37 years old.
37.
He says, let me tell you something, man. I'm 37 years old. I was an Olympian. He was an Olympian. He went to the Olympics with De La Hoya. He was on the American Olympic team.
Okay.
He said, I was an Olympian. I had all these fights. He says, this is the first time in my life I ever went into a fight with a plan. I never went into a fight with a plan. Because the guy just got in shape and says, come on, champ, just do his stuff. And he just went and did what he did. And this was the first time he had some directions of exactly what to do and what not to do. And it worked. So that's one of the
That's
examples.
one of them. We won't allow you to disclose all your
All my
secrets
secrets,
here.
but-
You can't
yeah.
give a secret.
I'm not giving my secrets away. I just said we
I
stop
got
him
it.
from bouncing. I didn't tell you how we stop him from bouncing.
Right.
Oh, that is true. Yeah. How did you stop?
I'm not going to tell
You
you.
can't disclose that. I know
You
that.
can go to Bout Fight Club and hire Colin.
Gotta ask you, do you consider yourself the best Guyanese boxer of all time?
Boxer, no.
Okay.
No,
Who
no,
would you
not
think-
boxer.
who would you
There was a lot of good boxers from Guyana. Guyana's had a list of good boxers. I wouldn't try to pick one out because we had like this guy named Lennox Beckles. He was really good. There was an older guy named Cliff Anderson. He was also, these are older people, like really old people. Then there was the same guy, Patrick Ford. He fought for 2 world titles, but he never won. Lennox Blackmore, he fought Aaron Pryor for a world title. Then it was Terrence Ali. He had like 26 fights in ESPN. That's a record of the share with this Irish guy, Mickey Ward, for the most fights in ESPN. We had a lot of fighters from Guyana that you had Success Lewis, the world champion. Wayne Braithwaite was a champion. Gary Sinclair, champion. Vivian Harris. There's
lot.
lots of
We don't even know
from
that.
this little country. It's like we had so much boxing talent. So
Why is boxing so popular there? Is that the number one sport, would you say?
no. Number one sport here was like cricket. I don't know if you know what it is, but
Yeah.
Probably soccer too.
yeah, soccer
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 would
is in second or something. But
then,
and then I don't know.
Baseball, maybe.
No, there's no baseball there. No,
well, basketball.
no, maybe boxing. There's basketball, but when I left, boxing was one of the top sports. I don't know now. I haven't been home in 25 years or something.
You haven't been back there in 25 years? Oh.
By choice?
By choice.
Okay, how about that? By choice.
He's not welcome back.
Nah, I'm always welcome back. But
Got it. What is your most accomplished? What have you accomplished in boxing that you're really proud of?
well, I think there's a few. One of it, it's like I was born in like a little village in Guyana, and we had no food, no clothes. It's like poor, like the kids you see in Africa, kind of poor, and never had a chance to go to like a school tour or school trip. My parents couldn't afford it, like none of this stuff. And then I'm proud because through boxing, I've seen like, I don't know, maybe 25, 30 different countries. I've traveled over the world. I've met all kinds of people. I work with great promoters, stuff that so I think through boxing, it opened up a whole life for me that I would not have had otherwise. So that's one. I think the next accomplishment, in 1994, I went to South Africa. I took one of my boxers there for a fight. And I don't know how old you guys are, but in 1994, Nelson Mandela became president of South Africa, and that was and there was like a ban from sports taking part with South Africa or South African taking part in sports. They couldn't take part in, nobody from South Africa take part in sports, and nobody could go to South Africa to take part in sports. And that ban was lifted in 1994, and I was one of the not the first, but one of the four set of athletes who went in South Africa, went to South Africa to integrate. So when South Africa was integrated back into the world of sports, so I think that's
Huge. Yeah.
It's part of history.
That's part of history.
That's part of my history. I've had a lot of little small accomplishments. Andrew Murray, the guy I tell you, I went with him to England for a fight, to Great Britain. So the Commonwealth is made up of all the countries that Great Britain had ruled over the years. So there's like Commonwealth Games, there's Commonwealth boxing titles. There's still like something that you do within the Commonwealth, within all these countries. And so we had boxers like Lennox Blackmore, Patrick Ford. They won Commonwealth titles. Kenny Bristol. We had some boxers that won Commonwealth titles, but we never won one in England.
Okay.
So I went to England with Andrew Murray, and that was the first time somebody from Guyana won a Commonwealth title in England. So it's nothing much, but it's still like little accomplishments that being the force of this, being the force of that.
That's huge.
Yes, there's a couple of little force things I did from Guyana, so it's kind of cool. I just had a good time with boxing. It's
Speaking of promoters, gotta ask you this: how was it like working with Don King?
First, I must say, happy belated birthday to Don. His birthday was on the 20th.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Don.
Happy birthday, Don King.
And I love Don. He was very good to me.
Okay.
And I know everybody got some stories and everything, but there's also the other side to that. I know boxers who took money from Don or borrowed money and never paid it back. I know people who called Don for advice and take his money and they never pay back. You always hear how much people he robbed or something, but you don't hear how much people rob him. I mean,
we don't.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of boxers. And I think to me, one of the big misconceptions of what people have about Don is he would sign fighters up from all parts of the world. And he signed some of my fighters. And let's say in today's world, promoters only sign people up who could sell tickets or who people are interested to watch or something. Don never did that. He signed up everybody, and then he made them into a star. So like Julio Cesar Chavez from Mexico, he was no star when he was boxing. Don King made him a star. Mayorga, he was just Don King made these people into stars. There was nobody from Nicaragua going to the fights to watch Mayorga fight. There's no.
Is that the one that used to smoke cigarettes?
Cigarettes and all that. There's no millions of people from his country spending thousands of dollars to buy tickets to go ringside. No, there was none of that. But Don King made him a star, so everybody else paid to watch him.
Wow. I didn't even know Don.
So he was like,
It's like what Vince McMahon does.
right, he was like a great,
Okay.
to me, he's one of,
Yeah.
that's why he obviously is the greatest promoter, because he could just take anybody and he made them into something. And like today's world, the promoter is looking to make sure that the person got all this talent, the person is good, the person could fight, the person got this, got that. You could sell tickets before they sign you. Don never did that. He just take a chance, he signs you, and if you got some talent and he could market you, he market you. And, you know, I mean, I know but some of the fighters that I had, we had fights at Madison Square Gardens or something, and if they had to sell tickets to get the money that he paid them, they'll be broke. They won't have no money. So for instance, let's say your fight is fighting and Don pays him $100,000, and people would, oh, you should get more money than that. Why he's only give you $100,000? You should give you more money. But at the same time, if he says, okay, I'll give you $200,000 if you could sell 200,000 in tickets, you would end up with maybe $10 because you can't sell a ticket. So just watching at it on one side, like, oh, he didn't pay the people, or you're robbing somebody or something. I don't know. I wasn't with him every day all the time to know that kind of stuff. So I'm not I'm not defending Don King.
Right.
I'm just, from my experience, I'm saying I've seen fighters who I know cannot sell any tickets, got paid a lot of money just fighting on the show. Because he would, at a show, it would be like 2 days of boxing, or it would be, the fight starts at 2 in the day till 12 in the night, and everybody got paid.
Got it.
There's never nobody going home said, I didn't get paid. They all got paid. They would be war title fights. I remember one time he had like 6 or 7 world title fights in the same night. He would always do shows like this. And when the first world title fight's on, the ring is not even full yet when the first world title fight is on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those people are fighting their champions and they're getting paid. And there's not even people in the place to like watch them.
Got it. Got it.
If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
So
completely.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
understand.
So people looking at it one way, oh, you robbed this person, a person. But if you look at the full scale, if you got 15, and you got 16 or 18 or 20 people fighting, and you're paying all these people money, but it's only Mike Tyson or whoever is the big person at the top of the ticket who's making the money, but everybody else here had a decent money to go home with.
Got it.
You know,
I see what you're saying. No, I completely understand.
So I understand that because yes, I was part of that system, you know, right? So yeah.
Got it. What would you say, Mr. Morgan, is maybe a common denominator or a characteristic or a mindset that separates amateurs from pros to world title champions?
Okay, so I think in life, in every field, everything we do, there's 3 levels of doing stuff, or 3 kinds of people, right? And so like if we start with school, and there's a class with 20 kids, you can always got 2 kids at the front of the class who's very smart. We got the next 4 or 5 who's trying to catch up to those 2. And then there's the rest of us at the back who's just fucking around. I'm saying the rest of us.
That's true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I guess the same thing works with, I think, in life. So in boxing, there's the 2 boxers who's going to make it to be the superstars or the one. There's the next 4 or 5. But I mean percentage-wise now, who's going to try to get what those guys got. And then there's the whole rest of everybody else who's just opponents. So I would say the people who work the hardest and try to get to the first group or the second group are the ones who are successful. And then again, there's just the rest of people who's just the rest of people.
But is there like a characteristic or mindset? Is there athletic ability? Is it?
Oh, you mean between pros and amateurs?
Yes, sir.
Oh, between pros and amateurs, I think sometimes. So your brain doesn't forget anything. So let's say there's a color. The color is gold. You see, you said yes, right? But when I was a kid, the color was yellow. But yellow and gold becomes the same color, right?
I see where you're going.
People call gold yellow and yellow gold, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so the brain doesn't forget. So when you like let's say, even if you learn a language, you speak English, and then you try somebody teach you Spanish, you're not going to forget the English because your brain doesn't forget
Your
stuff,
brain doesn't
right?
forget.
Right,
That's deep.
right,
Yeah.
But what you could do is suppress something that you don't want to remember. So like if you had a terrible experience in life and you don't want to remember it, you don't want to think about it, you could suppress it. But if something happens or somebody starts talking about that situation, it comes right back because it never goes away. It's out in the brain. So I think that happens with training. When you train a kid and you show them bad form, bad technique, they don't have good, the ABCs are not good,
Okay.
right? The fundamentals are not good. They didn't start off with good fundamentals as an amateur. Then you turn pro. As a pro coach, you're trying your best, or even an amateur coach, you're trying your best to try to
Fixed.
fix
Adjust,
something
yeah.
or adjust something. But as soon as the person under pressure or something happens, they go
back.
right
They
back.
go back.
You
to
resort
their
back
own-
to
yeah.
Back
your habits.
to their habits.
Your foundation.
And I think Sam is a good. Me and Sam, we always talk about that. I would show him how, Sam, we would just, when he would start, I don't know, I'm not criticizing his coach or whatever, but he would always run around and stuff.
Yeah.
And I tried to say, Sam, you got to learn to stay in the middle, because if you start running, the person's going to run after you. You look like you're scared. If you hold your ground, they might make the person start running, and you get a chance to go after them. Stop running from everybody. And so I would get him to do it. But then when he gets in the ring and there's somebody that he thinks was better than him or something,
We talk
he
about
starts running around.
He still does it today.
He still running around. So that's just the point I was trying to make. It's so it's more like, so I guess if you got a real good start and get started on good fundamentals as an amateur, it helps as a pro. But then there's also, say, some pro boxers who could adjust. And those are the ones that makes it all like the big
World champ become
world
world
champions
champion.
becomes the top. Because
Okay.
let's say I trained this guy named Brian Ceballo.
Okay.
Legend.
And Brian,
really.
Brian, he won
Legend.
the New York Golden Gloves 5 times. He won the Nationals
Oh, wow.
so much times. As an amateur, he represented
High level.
America in a couple of games, something. But he was an amateur. But I started training as a pro.
He's got 250 amateur fights. Or
But I started training as a pro.
Okay.
And if I tell him to keep his hands up, keep his hands down, lead with the right, lead with the left, lead whatever it says, he could just do this right away, and he's not stuck running around like the way he fought as an amateur. He fought totally different now as a professional.
Okay.
But most of the amateur fighters, they still do a lot of the amateur stuff. I'm not going to explain
Yeah, I got
I'm
you.
not going to say who or how
Yeah,
they do
for
it,
sure,
but I
for
could
sure.
see. I watch at the fights, and it's this guy is he's strong, he's tough, he's in more condition, but they still do the same amateur stuff. They weigh too much, or they're doing stuff that
Pros don't do.
pros do because they're doing it, but it's not. You're not seeing
it's not helping.
you're not seeing their growth.
Got it.
There's some pro fighters you could see been fighting for a long time, and they should do better. People expect more of them,
Right.
but they're not doing better because they're stuck with something, and they're not finding the right person to help them to adjust to that stuff, or they're not willing to adjust. I don't know.
Got it.
You know,
My question is, when do you know an amateur's ready to go pro?
That's a good question.
Well, so let's put it this way. Let's say put you to spar, like training, you sparring, and for years you're doing 3 rounds or 2 rounds, 3 rounds of sparring, and and then put you do 4 rounds, and then you always get tired in the 4th round. It's like the 4th round, you're getting tired, or we try to do 6 rounds, but after 3 rounds, you gas out, or mentally you breaks. You're not
Start
going.
running away.
I'm not going to think about making you into a pro, because pro is 4 rounds, and if after 3 rounds you're tired or mentally broken, then you're not going to be a good pro. I think what makes a good pro is the patient amateur boxer who going to take his time and could go longer than the ones who's going to jump in the ring quick, throw quick 3 punches, boom, 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 wins the fights, and then that's fine. But as professional boxers, you need to like settle down, sit in your punches, look for harder punches, create openings. So
Is there a maturity level that you look for?
and you got to be mature too, because yes, if you're not mature, it's not going to work. And I think a lot of trainers find it out with their fighters that they were not matured enough when they turn pro, and then they get to some place, and then they're just like they're stuck at a level. They're not getting beyond that level.
Yeah.
Got it. What would you say is your like coaching style or philosophy?
Well, let me see. I don't have a style.
Okay.
I don't train boxers with a style. What I try to do is to make sure whoever I'm training, the first thing is like that person has their balance is good and
Balance.
right. And until they, we work on it, make sure that, because when you're balanced, you could do anything. You could create any move or do anything. If you're off balance, then you're stuck doing one thing. So I try to not have my fighters be one-dimensional. So yeah, I don't want to give away too much.
I know you want to give. I love it. You keep yourself secret. I love it. I'm the same way, so I get it.
Yeah.
Tell me, top 5 favorite boxers of all time. Top 5.
My top 5 be Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson.
I thought he was a singer, Jack Johnson.
Right.
Jack Johnson, Sugar Ray Robinson, Roberto Durant,
Oh wow, Roberto Durant. Okay.
Pernell Whitaker.
Pernell Whitaker. Okay. From Virginia.
You want 5, right? Set 5,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
That's 4. Yeah.
And Roy Jones Jr.
Roy Jones Jr. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Are you still training any fighters now today?
Yes, I have I got a couple of pros. Fergal McCurry, Brian Sabayo. Fergal McCurry just had a fight 2 fights ago. He fought Loman Roach,
Right. Irish kid.
the Irish kid.
told me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
great.
you told
He's
me
really,
about it.
really strong
Yeah,
fighter.
and I mean, he put up a better fight than Tank did.
Good jab. Good
No,
jab.
I'm not hitting on Tank. I'm just saying.
Gotcha.
No, we're gonna tell the story how we met in a little bit.
Okay. Do you think you're famous?
No,
I think he's famous
That's a quick. Why? Why do you think you're not famous?
because
Let him talk.
what I do, I like in the ring or at the gym or at the fights. I never put myself first. I put the boxers first. So I'm never running to the front for an interview or to be in the middle of the ring first to get nothing. I always let the boxers take they do, and I stay at the back. So the people who know me knows me, and the ones who don't, well, it's fine. But I'm not.
I say whenever the cameras come out, he's always front and center.
Never,
So-
never,
Sam snitching.
never,
Sam
never,
snitching.
never. You go on YouTube, you find the videos. You gotta search for me. You never find me. I'm always hiding at the back.
What's your definition of being famous?
Where everybody recognizes you wherever you go, and and it's something I would never want to happen. So I want to be
But don't you
famous.
think boxing kind of makes you comfortable around famous, high-level people?
Well, I've been around all movie stars, basketball players. You meet all these people, right? But
Especially where he's at in New York City.
Right.
I know.
His gym is right across the street from the World Trade Building.
Amazing.
Yeah.
and yes, I've been around a lot of people. I've trained some of the guys. I've worked with some of them.
Some supermodels.
But at the same time, I'm not going to. But I don't call myself. You said famous, or what you said?
Famous. Yeah, famous.
The podcast is We're Not Famous.
In
so-
some, yes, I'm not. I mean, like in some countries, though, I think I'm more respected in some countries more than America. Like, because I've gone to those countries and beaten their fighters or took fighters from, like, let's say Panama. I took Guillermo Jones and made him a world champion. I think they love me. The people in the DR love me. They gave me a plaque one time because I made Elio Rojas champion for the country. So you get like
Some praise,
some praise, some recognition and stuff.
Yeah.
But which is good enough. I don't want to be the person who can't go to the airport or catch the subway. I don't want to be that person. I like being, if I'm in the subway in New York and somebody sees me, hey, I saw you on TV, and so I'm like, oh no. Because now everybody turns around.
I
So
got
I'm
you,
like,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
I just don't want to be that person.
Under the radar.
I just like being me. I don't want that part of it. I just want to be a trainer. Train people, go home. I don't want to get, so,
Got it. Let me, before you tell this story how you guys met, let me just ask, Mr. Morgan, like in this stage of life, this chapter you're writing, right? What do you focus on personally? Is it,
Well, what I try to do now is I'm trying to help young people, and I'm getting some pushback, but I'm gonna keep pushing because I got nothing to lose. I feel like the amateur system here, and I don't know what's the right word. I'm not gonna say unfair, but I don't think it's like the other sports. It's like basketball or baseball, and there's not much growth for the kids. There's all the little gyms, especially in New York. All the gyms are closed because you can't pay the rent, and there's nothing for the kids.
okay.
And even in places like Florida or Texas, where there's a lot of kids or something, then there's not enough tournaments. There's no travel teams. There's no financing. There's no money to help the kids. And from my travels, living in Ireland and being in Russia and in China and everything else, and see how these people do for their kids,
Yeah, that's big, yeah.
it hurts my heart to see that the richest country in the world, like, we don't even do a quarter of it to help our kids.
Got it.
And I think when I try to do something, maybe it looked like I'm trying to go against the system or something. So people try to push back or try to put me in my place or something. But I'm not trying to fight them or make a problem with anybody. I just feel like the kids need. So, for instance, I took my gym to Russia to have like a exhibition. It was exhibition with the Russian fighters. And then when we got home, we all got suspended by putting, what do you call it?
The USA Boxing.
Put us all in some.
And he was giving them this amazing experience.
So what it was doing is giving kids who never left this country, who
Absolutely,
never
yeah.
had nothing, to get like a little experience.
Yeah.
We end up like a year and a half. The gym, the box, everybody's like put an administration hole. Now, administration hole should be used for until we had a meeting to decide what to do with you. But they had us in administration hole for a year and a half, and then they decide, okay, we're gonna live.
It was a ban.
It's not a ban, administration hole. So you so if you're not in administration hole, there's nothing you could do. You can't get a lawyer, you can't do nothing because you're not charged with nothing, you're not nothing. They're just administration hole till they decide what to do. So if they keep you in administration hole for 5 years, it's like put you in a cell and don't charging you, and you can't get out because They was not charged. This is no charges, and until you get charged. So it was some kind of stuff like this, and it's just like stupid. At the end of the day, they said they sent me a letter, email a couple of months, and they said, "Well, you got to sign these forms saying you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that, you're not going to do this, and if you do that, you're going to be suspended." So I sent back an email saying, "Well, I train a fighter from a different country, from Bangladesh. She's a really good fighter, and so we travel a lot to all these tournaments, and." So if going to one of these tournaments doesn't comply to your rules, then would I be suspended? Because it's not no American fighters, but I'm working with a different country here. And I need to know before I sign up the forms. So they never got back to me. It's months now. But they also said in the email, after 30 days, if I didn't sign the form, then it means that I agree with everything that they said in this form.
Got it.
So now I did not resign to be part of the amateur association because I don't want to be suspended for something I'm trying to help. It's just like, so I'm saying these little things need to be like just changed. Some people, we need freedom. We need to get these kids that they could travel, they could go fight, they could do something, and there's the only way you get better, right? And like I said, I've traveled of the world and I've seen it work. I've seen this work in every one of these countries. I go to maybe I've been to, in the last 2 years, been to like 11 different tournaments. Wow. And these countries sends there's kids, there's every age groups, there's that, and they go internationally and they're fighting. So they're staying like busy internationally. America got so much boxers. They got one team in Colorado Springs. Right. And they just fight against whoever here. And they only go to a big tournament. So it's hard to win anything because they're not part of, like, just going to everything. Every month there's tournaments. Every week there's tournaments. So what I want to do is get the permission that I could get some kids, and every month and every week when there is a tournament, that I could be able to take these kids and they could get some experience, that they could enjoy being an athlete, not just sit home waiting to see if you make it to USA Boxing. Because at the end of the day, there's only one boxer who could make it
per weight class, right?
Per weight class.
That's amazing.
And you got thousands of people. These other kids other people need something to do. So I would hope they're listening to what I got to say. I'm not trying to pick a fight with them. I'm just saying, just give some freedom that people could travel and go and take part in tournaments, and So this is one I'm at right now to try to.
Got it. How did you meet this crazy guy, Sam?
Well,
you want to tell the story, or you want me to?
I'll tell my version, and then you tell
I love his version. Yeah.
You're gonna share the shorter version. So
share the shorter version. So his trainer, he's a very nice guy. Okay. At the time, so every time there's a tournament and he ends up fighting one of my guys. He lost. So then there was one of my girls, one of the women I trained. She was like a vice president of a big corporation in New York, and but she wanted to box.
Okay.
She wanted to fight. So we got a fight with one of his teammates at the time.
Another young girl. Yeah.
But she was a young girl, and this is an older woman.
Okay.
So the fight went on, and the younger girl got stopped by my girl. And so then we talk him, my coach, as coach to coach, we would call up and ask about sparring or whatever. So he says, yes, he's gonna bring the girl to come spar with the same older woman.
Okay.
So the girl comes and she says, I'm so nervous. She says, I spar with Amanda Serrano, I got knocked down, I this and that, but I never feel so nervous like when I got to spar with this this person. And she was a very nice young woman. And I'm saying, it's just going to be some sparring. It's not a fight, whatever. And I'm being nice. His trainer comes in. He sees my girl.
Uh-oh.
And he says, "Oh, yeah, you fought my girl. I don't know what the hell, why they stopped the fight. My girl was doing good. Why they stopped the fight? Not even how." And he was like, so when he said that.
He talks on behalf of his fighters, my trainer. And
Okay.
So when he says something like that, Mark fighting now, who was all nice and calm, was just going to practice with the girl, she says,
Okay.
"I'm going to kill her." I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. So the sparring start, and my girl went up, boom, crack, crack, crack. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, okay, slow it down. So then she slows down and whatever, right? And I'm like, listen, it's not her fault. She come and she was nice.
Yeah.
She said the right things, that she was nervous and everything. She didn't come here talking like she wants to kill you. He's an asshole. He said stupid. He's not an asshole, but he stirred up something.
Don't take your anger at him out.
Don't take the anger out on him
it.
because he said something that you didn't like. Okay. So just whatever. And so they left. Next time they call, they want to spar again. They coming. He says he's gonna bring his guys to come spar my guys.
Okay.
So this time Sam is part of this.
Okay.
And now I'll turn the story over to Sam.
Okay.
So there were we had a group of guys similar to our gym, like any gym. And, like Colin says, you have the best guys, then you have the guys who are trying to get better. And then, so we put our best guy in against one of Colin's guys. And I'm really nervous. I'm like, how's this? Because we're fighting another gym. I don't know who any of these people are. So,
Okay.
But they put the best guy at my gym in against his.
Okay.
He gets in there. Things are going okay. About 30 seconds in, whop! He gets dropped. Our best guy goes down.
Best guy.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, God. He tries to finish the round again. Whopped! Dropped to the ground again. And I'm like, oh, my God. This is the best guy at my gym. He just got dropped to the ground.
Got it.
So then they put the second best guy in.
From your gym.
From my gym. And he goes up against another one of Colin's guys. And within 10 seconds in the round, I'm really nervous for my guy. He's just getting pummeled by one of Colin's guys. Yeah. Body shots, head shots. I'm going, who the hell are these people? Right. So then he comes out of the ring all bruised and bloodied up. Mm-hmm. And then they point at me and they go, "Okay, Sam, you're up." I look at Colin. I go, "I'm not getting in there."
Right.
Back to me. And now I says, you're going to go in, but you're going with this guy, and he's not going to try to kill. He's just going to work. You're just going to throw some punches and stuff. So like I get, I as a trainer, I don't like trying to hurt the next person, like hurt some kid because for ego or because they can't fight or something. If I see my fight is too much, I slow them down and say, just move around, whatever. But when he was so nervous that he didn't want to go in, I tell my guy, well, just work in your defense so that he gets some work in too, and he doesn't, because he's, whatever. So he went in and he ended up getting the best out of his group because he didn't get beat up.
I was the only one walking away without.
So Coach Morgan saved you pretty much.
Yeah, no.
And then he was smart. He's like, "Could I come back and learn some stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, you could come back." And
I said, whatever this guy's doing is working.
Right.
But his trainer also says that too. His trainer says.
No, my trainer is an amazing guy. We're gonna have him on the podcast when he's in town.
And he always says to me too. He says, "Whatever you do, I don't know, man. I don't want my fighters coming up against you because they always lose. And whatever you do good." And he would just. I saw him at Gotham Gym. And he was training one of the amateur fighters, somebody from California came in for the week. He was training the person. Yeah. And he stopped the training and introduced me to the person. And he was giving me my
flowers.
He's giving my flowers. He's like, "This guy, he's really good, man. Right. If you see this guy in the next corner, don't fight. He knows what he's doing." So he's not like you know.
He's a hilarious guy.
But
you
but
love him. You love
but
him.
somehow at first he was so cocky. He thinks like his guys could beat everybody, and then when he realized it's not like that, then he understands like this is a different level to what I'm doing. So yeah,
No, boxing is a humbling.
yeah, it's a humbling thing. Yeah.
sport. Yeah.
It is.
Mr. Colin.
You guys had
Morgan.
enough for me?
We can keep I can keep going. We're at 1 hour. We said we'd do 45.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. All right. Well, it was nice being here with you guys, and
We appreciate your time, sir.
This
We
was
learned a lot.
amazing. This
I mean,
was
it a great
incredible. This
interview.
was very
Learned a lot about
educational.
you.
There's
I mean,
a lot of,
I didn't even get to talk about my star amateur boxer, you know. But next time,
no, no,
next
no,
time,
let's
maybe
keep
I'll give
going.
you,
Wait,
maybe
wait,
I'll
wait.
give you, maybe I'll give
Wait,
you a
who's
couple
your
minutes.
star amateur boxer these days?
So in that was 2001, yeah, 2001. Just as the pandemic was
2021, you mean?
Yeah, 2021.
Oh,
As
okay.
the pandemic was easing up, we had these rules in New York City that, you know, people got to wear a mask, you got to be so much, whatever. So all the gyms were closed. So I opened up my gym and I was complying with the rules to keep people like apart or something. But then when they had to spar, it's obvious you had to spar without a mask. So we had some sparring. I was the only gym had sparring at the time.
Wow.
So these girls would come to spar.
Okay.
And but I only had this one lady that I said that fought his teammate at the time. There was the only female I had training, but I would organize it so the people would come get some place to work out. And so the sparring starts, and all the girls are sparring with each other, and then but this girl, I'm not gonna call names, but she fights like at 154, and it was obvious at the time she's heavier because she's not at fight weight. She's over the weight.
Okay.
And she was mean. As long as you get in the ring with this girl, she doesn't care if you small, big, if you could fight or not. She's gonna beat your ass.
Okay.
And most of the girls were green. They wasn't all like seasoned boxers.
Okay.
So then this trainer, he put this girl in the ring to spar, and this girl weighs like 110 pounds, and he puts her in the ring with this girl, that's this mean girl. So I'm looking at this because I'm waiting now to pull it and be like, stop, no, out of the ring or whatever, right? And the girl is charging, and this little girl is just moving, and she's jabbing, and she's running, and the girl can't get her. And so she comes out of the ring. I'm like, damn. She got something that's, most people would turn their back. They would be scared, they would something. And she was just like, she just wouldn't get hit. The girl could not hit her. So then I tell the trainer, I'm like, I like her. She's really good.
Okay.
I says, no disrespect, but what she just did in the ring, I don't think nobody could teach that. That's like instinctive, something instinctive that not to get hit. She just decided, I'm not going to get hit, and she just wouldn't let the person hit her. I said, that's not. Most people, they would close their eyes or turn their back. Right. She did none of that. She was just.
I don't get hit because I run away.
Right. She was moving, right? So I said, if she learns to fight, she'd be something else.
Okay.
So one day I saw her trying to do some pull-ups. She has like the band, and she's using the band trying to pull up. So I went over, I'm like, listen, put a band down. You can't do pull-ups like this. And I tried to explain like the old way that we did things, how to do something. I'm like, and I could say this because I'm sure people could learn to do this anyway. So to do a pull-up on a bar, you can't start from the bottom and try to pull up to the top. You got to start from the top and come down, not from the bottom up. So in other words, you get to the bar and you have the person get their chin over the bar.
Okay.
And then they bring their chin down and they go back to like their nose.
Okay.
Or first they just hold their weight over the bar.
Got it.
And they learn how to hold their weights up here. And then as they could hold their weight, now you could come down by your nose, go back up, come down by your nose. And you could do that, and you could go to the eyes, up, down. Then you go further until you get all the way down. But you don't start from the bottom and try to come up. So they all got a band trying to do this, and they could never do a pull-up.
Okay.
So I explained, and I heard her like, and then In a couple of days, she's on the bar doing like, she's getting the pull-ups and stuff, right? So then I said to her, I says, what if I tell you, if I train you in 3 years, I could get you to the Olympics? She says, I'll be down. She never had a fight.
Never had a
A
fight.
fight. And
But
at
you
the
saw
time-
something.
And at the time, she said she was like 27. So so I talked with her. She says, I never played a sport. Nothing. I never do nothing. Nothing. Never played a sport. Never do nothing. I'm like, so you know what? There's a good challenge for me. And
Here it is.
At this point in life.
and at the same time, there was a young man working at the front desk, Gian, that fought Amo Williams.
Gian,
And
come
he
down.
and he would come in the ring and spar my boxers when he got a break or something. And then one day I look at him. I'm like, you know what? How old are you? He said he was 22 or something. I'm like, the way your style is, the way you fight and everything, amateur won't work for you. How much amateur fights you got? He says, I have 2 amateur fights, and it was in 2016. And now this is 2021. I'm like, well, it makes no sense fighting amateur. So you're going to do, I'll turn you pro. We got 2 amateur fights, one
Yep.
win, one loss.
One win, one
and as a facade. So I like taking on like challenges. So I'm going to
Challenges.
take these. So these are going to be my 2 pet projects. The young woman
Gian?
and Zana, the girl, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to try to make you into as far as you could go as a pro.
Okay.
And you, I'm going to try to get you to Olympics. So this is going to be, this is these are my pet projects. I like
goals.
stuff.
I love it.
So Zanette had 5 fights, but in the time she won the Golden Gloves in New York, and she gets to the National Golden Gloves. So here she shows up, and there's all the girls from all the country and everything, and she's nervous because she never even played a sport, and here she is with 5 fights. And the thing to get into the National Golden Gloves, you had to have like 10 fights and more. But somehow, whatever, she got in, and because we convinced them that she could fight, and they let her give her a chance. She got to the finals. She beat the asses, and she got to the finals, and she got so nervous that she couldn't even perform. That she just ran around. She didn't get hit because she could, like I said, she could do that, but she didn't like too much. But what I'm saying with the 9 fights, she's like the number 2 at the Golden Gloves. Like she's the second person, like just starting. So when you see what I'm getting with this, it's like you could see the talent, right?
Yeah.
So next year we won again. We won the next Golden Gloves. Anyway, I started telling her, look, now her parents is from Bangladesh, so I'm like, okay, now we're gonna fight for Bangladesh, because if you fight for America, there's no way you're gonna get to the team and get through here. But if you fight for Bangladesh,
Smart.
it's gonna be whatever. So she went through. She pushed. She did work. She got a passport, a Bangladesh passport. We went to Bangladesh. We met with the people. We talked and everything. And then we started fighting for Bangladesh. She went to, so every time we go up to China, to Russia, to this, wherever there's a tournament. I think we went to like 11 tournaments so far. I think she won 4 out of the 11.
Wow.
She got medal in like the next, maybe there's two times she didn't medal. Every other time she medaled or won. So,
And Gian? What about Gian?
and Gian, he came along nicely. And then I got him a big fight. His big break was to fight Amo Williams.
Got it.
That's
and that was on the
crazy
zone.
This guy had basically
amateur,
no
no
amateur
amateur fight.
experience,
This is
and he's
amazing.
fighting Amo Williams.
And then he gets in there, I guess. He was doing good for the first 3-4 rounds.
Amo had a lot of respect for Gian. So did Kevin. They had really nice things to say. About
And
him.
but then he got caught with a big shot.
Okay.
And lack of experience, he didn't know how to react, what to do. And Amo jumped in him, hit him, boom, boom. The referee pulled the fight. So yeah, so that was that. But yeah, so I like to pick up a challenge and
What's
try
the
to see.
competition like in Bangladesh? Is it easier than here in the States? Or
So the thing is, Bangladesh has a population of about 180 million people, and it's about the size of New York State. So it's a small country with
just
lots of people.
loaded with people. Yeah.
Yes, but boxing is not one of the big. Cause it's a Islamic country. So I don't know if that's part of why or not, but there was not much of boxing over the years. But since Zanat starts fighting and representing Bangladesh and winning, now people are paying attention and now they're getting a team. They just hired a coach from Kazakhstan or someplace to come to Bangladesh to train the kids to work with the national team.
Wow.
So it's starting to
Pick up?
and I think so. But she's the one that's like cracked that little seal to show like we could win, we could do something. So obviously there's some haters who's gonna be she's not from Bangladesh, she's from America or whatever, and she whatever it is. But at the same time, if she didn't take this step from America to represent Bangladesh and win these tournaments or do what she's doing, then there would be nothing. So
She's a trailblazer.
so she's like the trailblazer, and
I want to say, Zanat and Edmund, come down. You're invited. Stay with me. Colin, come give him a camp down here. Do it at our gym. It's an official invite. Zanat and Edmund. Stay as long as you want.
So she's doing great.
Well, we want to say, Mr. Morgan, thank you for coming on. We've learned a lot. Great story. Sam's always talked highly of you. You guys have some crazy stories together.
How did you and Kevin know each other?
Kevin, we both work for Don King.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had Devon Alexander and Corey Spinks.
Yeah.
And yes, I had like Success Lewis and Gary Sinclair and Wayne Braithwaite and Larry Donald. So we all had like interactions with
Don King.
So we met, and most of like every time there was a fight, Don had a show. He had somebody in the show. I had somebody in the show. So
Yeah.
And,
what about Mooney? Because you know Mooney from back in the day too, yeah?
yeah, but I met him like maybe on and off, but we not like it wasn't like me and Kevin.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
Me and Kevin, we got each other numbers. Like, he'll call me. If I see him, he knows me. Whatever. We kept in touch over the years and stuff. But yeah,
Super cool.
So Kevin, Kevin's a real good dude. I like Kevin. Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, guys. Well, was my pleasure being here. Next time I'm in town, I hope you guys invite me back, and then maybe there's some good news, some other news I got to share.
Beautiful. Thank you again,
You're
sir, for
welcome
coming on.
anytime. Thank you. This was We're Not Famous with Sam and Jernavis, with special guest Colin Morgan.
Absolutely.
Like and subscribe and share it with your friends and your family and your girlfriends and your mistress and
right.
whoever else. All right, we will see
next
you next
time.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flame out.